Hi, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Marinelli, and if you've been here before, welcome back. It's so nice to have you guys. Today we're doing the mid-month, August 2025 mid-month check-in review reading for the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. That's the order we're going to go in. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm in a different location. Throughout the year, you're going to notice that we're going to be going back and forth, especially in the summer, to this location. I'm really inspired to do the water signs. We are by the water. We're on the water. Been swimming, so that's why I look like this. I know going over, I did a little review on the water sign readings I did for the month of August, and they were big. You guys had a lot of transformation, a lot of new beginnings, new growth, success stories. I think the water signs were the ones who had already or started to receive, started their actual changes and transformations, or they were just on the cusp of changing and receiving. So, yeah, let's get to this. So I have a couple decks. I actually have 3 decks. All the elements are going to get their own decks. This is the first time I'm doing it by element instead of doing the zodiac wheel, in part because I don't have that with me, but also, I don't know, I just felt really elemental. And did the earth signs since they were the last ones, or since I ended the monthlies with Taurus, I thought, why not start with Taurus? So yeah, but the water signs are just, they're like calling me. I was going to say they're like lulling me, you know, like when you get lulled to sleep. But maybe what I'm feeling is peaceful in your energy. Very go with the flow. Kind of like what is, and you're just going with the flow and letting the universe take you. Interesting. All right, so Cancer, you're up. All right, Cancer, let's see what you have. Let's start with an animal card. Okay. Spirit, what do we have for Cancer? Mid-month check-in, mid-month reading for Cancer in August 2025. Last night was the full moon in Aquarius. I hope you weathered through it. All right, we got one card. Bottom of the deck, we have the heron. Let's see the picture. Oh, it's so beautiful. With self-reliance. I need to get my glasses because I can't see. Heron is a solitary creature and a powerful symbol of self-reliance. With self-determination, they find freedom from restrictive viewpoints that dampen their light. Leading by example, Heron beckons us to take charge of our life, seek out new vistas for future growth, and cultivate healthy individuals to foster resilient communities. As you consider the depth and breadth of your power, your ability to own your purpose, remember, your actions have the power to inspire others to find their strength too. Oh, Cancer. That's beautiful. You know, I do remember part of your reading, and I was saying how you were in control of your element, right? Water magic. And that you were finally coming out of, from what I felt, the past 2 readings, I believe, a little bit emotional ups and downs, and you were having difficulty in navigating your emotional storms. That's beautiful. You were definitely becoming self-reliant in that monthly reading for August. I love when the mid-months and the months come together. It shows that you are on that path still, and nothing has deviated you, or nothing has or will deviate you from, I was going to say, completing that cycle, or nothing's pushed you off your path. Okay. So we have heron. That's awesome underneath the deck. Let's see what else you have. This is from the Sunlit Path. For Cancer, please, what do we have for mid-month? Ooh. We have 1, 2. All right, those are going. Bottom of the deck, we have Dagas. Yes, the breaking point, the dawn. Dawn, daybreak, awakening, breakthrough, renewal. Balance point between opposing forces, inner spark and intuition. Absolutely. I think you have found that meeting point of light and dark. You see the light and you've been going towards that light. But what did I say? Something about you being back online, Cancer, with your intuition and your inner knowing. It's like you've harnessed the power and are ready to walk through. Okay. Okay, let's get your tarot and see what else we have for you. For Cancer, please. All right, Spirit, what do we have for Cancer? Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Stones, which is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. You're starting again. You are starting a new path. A lot of, I would say all of that came across for so many of the water signs, for all the water signs, I believe. It says that she's the camp host there. It's like she's going to teach. Even though she's the Page of Stones, it's like she's welcoming in the pages. And I love that she's an older person with her white hair. You know, that's another thing. We can be a page at any time in our life. Maybe that's what it was and is. You are starting your life over. I know that there was a theme of new beginnings, separation, divorce in the previous readings. It's like at any time in your life you can start over and being that Page of Stones. But it's funny because, again, like I said, she's the camp host waiting for the newbies to come so she can explain and teach and show the camp off. You know, even as a page and even as a person who's in their older years, they can start a new job, a new life, a new career. And even though they're new, doesn't mean that they don't have wisdom to share and to teach to others. So if this is you starting a new life, a new chapter in your life, starting a new career, studying, just period, going back to school for something, you bring your breath, right? The breath of knowledge of your life, the entire library of knowledge that you've accumulated throughout your life to that new experience. You can be a very wise page, and I think that's what you are, Cancer. A very wise page. Absolutely. And it's realizing that. It's realizing that you're starting over, but it's like realizing the wisdom you carry over with you in this new beginning. That's interesting. And look what's underneath that. Whale spirit. Ancient wisdom. Okay. Yeah. There is something about you tapping into or realizing, even in this new chapter, even in this new career, even in this new life, you have so much wisdom. You carry so much knowledge. And all your, I was going to say sadness and trauma and all the lessons that you've gone through and heartache you've experienced actually gives you a gift in the end of knowledge. If anything, it gives you the gift of being able to help potentially someone else who's going through the same thing or has gone through the same thing. So this could definitely be a new career, or you're thinking of embarking on a new career. You enrolled, right? In college courses right now. Or you're planning on starting your life over and have identified something to do. It's like you found your song, your voice in all of this. Finding yourself. It's really beautiful. Okay, Cancer, so let's get down to your cards. We have Penguin. Oh, I love penguins. Penguins, okay. Let's see what they have to say about penguins, Cancer. Commitment. When life is chaotic, Penguin encourages us to stay focused and committed, demonstrating the variety of demonstrating the value of endurance. They embolden us to face the dark night in their determination, right? Facing the dark night to the daybreak. In their determination, we glimpse brightness. In due time, the sun will rise. Wow. Having created a warm, loving hearth born of devotion, they encourage us to keep our word. In duty to community, be the example you wish to see. Once you have made a commitment, face the headwind and then hold steady. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is you starting a new life, a new career, a new education. What did I say about you taking your knowledge, your experiences, and figuring out a way for you to show and guide others? It could even be divinatory in practice, because I felt like your intuition's back online and you may be getting downloads or feel maybe having gifts activated and feel like this is something you can do. Something like what I'm doing. Something like that. Urus. All right, gateway portal. Power, strength, endurance, self-determination, health, healing, renewal, and mental fortitude. Absolutely, you have pushed through. It's like you are moving through. Nothing has broken your commitment to change. Nothing has broken your commitment for this new life, for this new beginning, for this new start, this rebirth, restart, this degree, this certification, whatever it is that you have decided to do. Nothing has stopped you. All right, so we had Penguin, Urus, Winter, dormant, replenishing, introspection, and acceptance. Well, I first thought this could be a timing card. I really feel like it's though you have and are coming out in the month of August. You're coming out of your winter dormancy. Yeah. I mean, this definitely could be winter for those in the Southern Hemisphere, which that's the season they're in. Maybe you're getting your degree or graduating in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. But I really feel like this is you coming out of winter, your own winter, right? This is you blossoming. This is you thawing out. This is you awakening, Yeah. 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 It's like you push through the frost, right? With Urus. Your commitment. You push through. With that self-reliance at the bottom of the deck. Page of Stones. Yeah. What else do we have? That's beautiful. Canas. This is, yeah, you saw the light. Holy moly, guys. This is definitely a continuation of your previous reading. It really is. Cancer, I mean, you guys are, I can feel it. It's like all of a sudden I felt like, holy moly, right? That was my, that was my reaction. Yeah. Creativity, enlightenment, clarity, inspiration, harnessed fire, positive changes, knowledge. It's like that torch, that light. Something happened. And you are on your path. It's like you saw through there and where you wanted to go, and you just kept going. You never stopped. It's like, I don't need the light. I have my own light. You tapped in. You saw the light and you broke out of this stagnancy, or I want to say time of decay. I didn't want to say that, but I can't think of anything else. This time of decay. You've decided to come out of there. And you saw the light, the epiphany, the enlightenment, and you just kept going towards it. Wow. Oh my gosh. The Hermit card. Yes. Okay. Well, I think the cards are speaking clearly. Cancer, you guys, this is what you've been doing. Virgo season coming up. I think that you're actually coming out of hermit mode. You've gotten what you needed, right? You've gotten what you're coming out of hermit mode, because these are active cards. I think this is where you've been, the winter, and you're coming out. You're coming out of that. So that means that you've had this epiphany. You've understood something. You were answered. You were shown what you needed to be shown. Here, I'll read some of what I have in my card. This is actually my deck, the Sunlit Path. So it's going to be available very soon. And I love this card so much with the anglerfish. He carries his own light, his own lantern. Path to wisdom and enlightenment, healing and restoration, looking inward to move forward. And that's what you've done, Cancer. That is exactly what you've done. Isolation for introspection, that's where you were. Searching for answers. Absolutely. I think that you got the answers, and you moved through that. And you came out of this. You came out of hermit mode. I can't believe this card is coming up again in a different deck. It came up yesterday. Because as I told the earth signs on my drive here where I am right now, it's quite a trek, I was listening to videos, YouTube videos on my radio in the car, and out of the blue, an old video that I did, I think probably like in the beginning of the channel, about is it time to hang up the Hermit's card, came on, which really surprised me because the other videos weren't really related to my video. And I couldn't change it as I was driving. So I listened to it again. And I was left kind of dumbfounded because it really meant as much to me today as it did a few months ago. And I thought I had to revisit it. And then the card actually comes up in both of my readings that I started doing here. It's like the Hermit card's following me. For different reasons, I think, this time for me. But I definitely think that you guys are hanging up the Hermit card. I think you guys have found a peace within yourself, an understanding of why things were the way they were, why they ended the way they ended. And it's like there's an acceptance here. Yeah. That's under commitment. Your commitment to healing and renewal is what got you here. This goes into the Urus, and then we're going to see what comes underneath that. I'll give you a sneak peek because I don't know what it is. The King of Vessels, the King of Cups. Absolutely. This is you finally able to control and to manage and to not get overrun by your emotional state. Again, your 2 readings absolutely were all about that. And this is you becoming the master of water. Master of your emotional stability, of knowing what your heart is calling you to do and wants. Being able to have space and hold space for others in their emotional states, baggage. And this is, look at the King of Cups going through this portal, this gate, which is what you've done. You went from the commitment and the Hermit card to Urus, gaining that strength and knowing, mastering yourself again. Getting your intuition, right? Health, healing, and renewal. Filling your reserves again, your tank for strength, and keep pushing through. Because it's like you're falling out of there. You just came out of there. With your determination. Your fortitude. Your mental fortitude too. Following your heart. Building. Mastering your element. And flowing with all the other ones. Under Winter, we had the Chariot. Yeah. I'm glad that came out the way it did. This is definitely you thawing out. It's you coming out of your dormancy, your introspection, your acceptance of an ending and the rebirth and the thawing of a new world. You balanced yourself and you called in your Chariot. And you're doing it. You're doing it. Your mid-month reading and review and check-in, Cancer, is right on task. You are doing it. It's like you have no fear. You can conquer anything. And I know that's how you feel. It's like you feel like you are ready to go miles, right? On your own. Like you've harnessed that fire too, right? With Canas. The Magician under Canas. What does the Magician do? It harnesses and controls and recognizes the resources. It's like the light, the torch was lit all the resources around you. Made you aware of everything that you're capable of. And that everything was not lost. It's like you were fumbling in the dark and you are now seeing and believing there is a new way forward. There is new growth. There is the potential of success. It's like she sees this amazing landscape and she's like, I got this. I will make my way across this river. I will climb those mountains. It's like you see how you can manage to do all that. How you can get back on your feet after a divorce, back on your feet after a loss. How you can be independent if you haven't been in a very long time. That it is possible. And I know how hard that is. But I feel like you're a Cancer who's realizing that they still have so much more to live and do and achieve. And even if it's been forced upon you and you've been thrust into this, it's like you took your time, you felt out of sorts, you were just like discombobulated, and then all of a sudden not all of a sudden, through work and healing and working and transmuting and all those things, you realized and figured out what you're meant to do. And you realize all was not lost. All was not lost. What's the last card? The Death card. Like I said, you're being reborn. Oh, wow. This makes me... Whew. Okay. Sorry, Cancer, that made me really emotional. I think you guys have had busy, difficult months leading up to this one. And I feel like you're finally seeing the light and entering the world as a new person. Newly single, independent from your family. I want to say widowed. I don't know, there's something who's watching this. And it is so difficult to do. And it's like, these are happy tears, but they're also, it's like I felt and I feel all the pain and grief and strife that you've gone through. Yeah, but I have to say, Cancer, you're doing it. The magician, you are the magician of your life. Once again, you are creating your life moving forward. And that is so admirable. Absolutely. Yeah. If I could insert any other words in there, I would. Imagine other words I would put in there. So, yes. You're amazing. All right, that's what I see for you guys. That's your mid-month review. You are on task. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are, I know it's not easy and it's not going to be easy. Healing is forever and a day. And there's so much growth still to be had and made and done. But I am so proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. And if no one has seen that and no one has said that to you, or you don't have someone who recognizes that, I do. So at least, I hope that means something to you. So Cancer, I cannot wait to see what happens in September. Hopefully I'll be able to tease out what you're doing, and I would love to hear from you if you want to. If you want to give me an idea of what's going on, that'd be amazing, but I absolutely respect everyone's privacy, so don't worry if you can't. Much love, always. Bye. Hi, Scorpio, you're next. Let's take a look at your cards. You were, from what I remember, you were kicking butt and taking names, right? You were working really hard. I think you were being asked to take some time for yourself that you enjoy. Don't remember everything. I know that you were doing well, though. That is the one. Ooh, all right. Bottom of the deck, we have Moose. Isn't it beautiful? All right, let's take a look at what this says, Scorpio. Let's see here. Moose is the symbol of feminine willfulness, energy, and longevity. As an animal spirit, they are unrivaled. Moose gives us insight into presence with their resolute nature. Their fearlessness teaches us about self-esteem, influence, and conviction. Moose comes to our aid when we are overcome with feelings of helplessness. They encourage us to acknowledge our existence and breathe in the moment. Fix yourself on presence. Seek out balance. These outlooks will help you find peace. And then you have snail underneath that with patience. Ask yourself, what is all of this rushing for? In your focus to achieve, life will pass you by. Push, pause, and appreciate the finer, less obvious subtleties in life. Ooh, maybe we're okay. We may be syncing up with your reading, Scorpio. Are you still working hard? Or you feel the day in, day out is getting to you? Nose to the grindstone. Let's take a look at some more oracle cards. For Scorpio, please, Spirit, what do we need to know for their August 2025 check-in? We have 2, 3. Okay. Sorry for moving the camera. Bottom of the Cancer head to guys. Yeah, you guys you're my second reading in the water signs. But if this goes a little bit like the earth signs and my call to do this by elements, you guys probably have a very similar energy. You guys will probably have similar energy coming through. So Degas, that's daybreak, daylight. You can see my cat back there. It's Jax. Dawn, daybreak, awakening, breakthrough, renewal, balance point between opposing forces. What I'm feeling for you, this is you coming to a realization about balance in your life. That you need to find balance, or what you're doing now is not giving you the balance you need. And you're trying to figure out, how do you balance this, right? How can you balance work with being present in your life, in your family, in your home life, right? The whole balancing, the Two of Pentacles, balancing work-life balance. All I'm seeing here is like it's a seesaw, and you're trying to find that balance. You're trying to figure out what that fulcrum is for you, right? Where it can balance on. Okay. And I think you're going to get that epiphany. I think you're getting that epiphany. You are realizing that you have to balance your life, and it can't be all work, no play, because it will run you down. It will run you down. You're going to feel like you're missing out. Okay, let's get your tarot. Scorpio, what do we need to know for Scorpio, please, Spirit? All right. It's 2. Anything else? I see this one. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Scorpio. Wow. Sometimes Degas feels like a tower, even though it's not. I would say Hagalaz is more of a tower in the runes, but this could be a tower of enlightenment, like of an epiphany, or something happens, right? What did I say about this being a seesaw? And you fall down to one side and you realize things weren't as balanced as you thought. And that becomes a wake-up call. Becomes a wake-up call. The way that they have this tower here, it's stone. It's part of the mountain. It's a stone tower. So it's lasted through the ages. We usually talk about a tower not having a good foundation. Like it's built on shaky ground. That's not shaky ground. So this is giving me like this tower happens, but you're still standing. It's not devastating. It gets worn and weathered over the time, over the eons, over the years. So maybe it is what I'm saying. Something, you're going to get a wake-up call. It's not going to break this tower because this tower is going nowhere. But you're going to realize, hey, I got to do something different. Or I need to pay attention to that area in my life more. Can't put it off. Can't use the same excuses of not doing something. Underneath that, we have the Four of Vessels. That's the Four of Cups. And this is being inside with some water, not realizing that you have your replenishments, your resources outside. Not being aware that you actually have more resources around you than you first imagined. Again, you're caught up in your own, it's like you have your head down, working, or again, nose to the grindstone, like blinders on, working, and kind of being single-minded and not realizing or even taking time to see that you've had a delivery or that you left this water outside of your tent. It's like not realizing or not taking into account all the resources you have available to you. This also can state that you have those resources. So if you do need help, you have resources around you to help you with this moment. Aha moment, moment of frustration. Let's see what else we have here. Can't read it in the camera. Knight of Stones, Knight of Pentacles. He is like the park ranger who knows everything, has established trails and tours and for other people, right? Showing them the way. Are you the Knight of Stones? Knight of Sticks. That's Knight of Wands. What I'm getting from this with being the Knight of Pentacles and this, what I said about resources, it's like this can't be all you do. There are other ways to get resources, or you're not taking into account how other things in your life can be considered a resource. Okay, this is really interesting. All right, Scorpio, let's see what's going on here. I wonder if the Death card will come out. Are you going to be able to start going in the direction of changing your priorities in the month of August? I don't know. Let's take a look. The Devil. I almost said about the single-mindedness that it felt like the Devil card. All right. So this is the Stag card. Let's take a look with vitality. A gallant creature of great spiritual significance, Stag evokes images of Celtic lore and medieval quests. With his moral principles, his noble attendance encourages us to travel the high road when we must share it with unfair or unjust individuals. Also a symbol of vitality, the stag empowers us to boldly rise above as a means to thrive. Tap into energy within you. Use it to discover the opportunities beyond. Embrace your calling. Nurture your life's work. Share your energy with others and manifest abundance for all. Vitality. Then we have the Devil card. I'm going to read this to you. Capricorn, of course, tenacity. Bonds that restrain your advancement. Unhealthy attachments or overindulgence. Temptation. Being sidetracked from path. Self-serving and single-mindedness. See, there we go, the single-mindedness. This is from my deck. Intense passion, work hard, play hard. Utmost dexterity in a given situation. This could be that you're having a breakthrough, epiphany. What did I say with the Tower originally? A wake-up call about a person. A wake-up call about a person in your life. Hold on. With the Stag, here we go. With high moral principles, his noble attendance encourages us to travel the high road when we must share it with unfair, unjust individuals. You may be reaching a moment at work or in your environment with someone that you feel doesn't deserve your respect or doesn't deserve what they're asking from you. And you just realize that you just need to get through with it. Get through it or get through whatever it is that you get through the environment that you're in with them. Because with Degas, you also have the balance point between opposing forces. Okay. 11. That's definitely your path. Spiritual awakening, heightened intuition, and inner guidance. Start of a new phase that will bring balance, duality and balance. Duality and balance. Wow, you have a lot of balancing. Everything is balancing. It's like as though, Scorpio, you're going to find yourself. Well, I know that there was a lot of balancing or a lack of balance in your August reading originally. There was nothing wrong or bad about it. It was just making sure that you also fed yourself in different ways, not just, it felt like you were just plugging in and plugging out and not worrying about yourself. And I think that you're coming up against some imbalance. Maybe that has led to an imbalance, or you find that leads to an imbalance in a relationship that you have. And you now have to figure out how to fix it, rebalance, recalibrate. And what I said about you maybe having to give of yourself or prioritize, right? Be present in that relationship in a way that you haven't been before. This definitely, and have patience with this person. This could be definitely at work and dealing with what's been asked of you and see how you can handle it and deal with the people around you, your coworkers, your boss, new administration. Or this could be your family, your partner, someone needing more, wanting more, and feeling like you're not present in that relationship. Or you're going to find potentially a new relationship is shaky. Maybe you're starting a new relationship with someone, and because you're not giving it enough breath, enough life, enough of your attention, it's not going anywhere, and it can fall. So again, with this card, this Four of Cups, you're inside and there's water right outside. But it's kind of like you see it though, that the face is towards the opening. It's like you see it outside and you're wondering, or you're thinking, or you're actually, you don't know if you should go for it or not. You're like, well, do I really want to go get it? Stand up, go outside in the dark and grab that water? Or am I going to risk losing it potentially? especially if it's a relationship? Am I going to risk losing some animal coming up and grabbing that water and taking it away? Is it worth me risking or putting effort after tucking myself in at bed? After tucking myself in here at night, is it worth my effort going out there and grabbing that water? Or leaving it to chance? If it survives and it's there in the morning, it's there. And if not, it's not. You could even be a supervisor or a boss, and you're testing or not sure about your employees, or you're the team that works for you. I don't know where I'm getting that, but that just came to my mind. But I also think with the Devil card, this is you. This is you being super single-minded too. And expecting other people to be the same way, or to accept the fact that all you do is work, work, work. And, the Devil card is not just unhealthy attachments. It's also, that's an unhealthy attachment to work or whatever it is that you dedicate yourself to, because it's Capricorn, and Capricorn is the boss of the zodiac, and it can scale mountains, and it can, just for a little twig. It is so tenacious, and it doesn't stop, and it will get what it needs no matter what. And those are amazing qualities to have, that intense passion. But maybe your intense passion is for something that in the end doesn't lead to balance and fulfillment in other areas of your life. Again, that is a theme that we had in the first reading for the month of August. So I think you're coming at the end of August. I think it's like push comes to shove for you to make decisions here on what you're going to prioritize in your life, what you want in your life, and being honest with yourself, right? This is also having that epiphany, that moment of clarity. It's right there where night meets day, and you're like, it's like that breakthrough moment, that breakthrough thought, that breakthrough feeling, or the acknowledgement of a breakthrough moment in your life. You're like, oh, or being freaking honest with yourself. This is what I want. I really don't want this. It's too much work, or I'm willing to put the work in. It's something like that, guys. All right. And it's on your path. This is something that you have to do. And if you don't, that Tower card is coming in. There is a Tower brewing here. It's not devastating. Again, so interesting, because I've never really focused on this Tower card. I don't even think it's ever come out specifically in this deck. But you're going to stay standing. That's why I don't think it's a hard tower, meaning it's not going to destroy everything catastrophically. But it's gonna be a wake-up call. It's gonna make you confront, make a decision, and proceed on whatever decision you make. It's like blank and get off the pot. Blank, it's like blank or get off the pot. Okay, summer. Joy, health, clarity, flourishing. Yeah. Do you feed so that something can flourish? Do you feed something so it can flourish? And I also think in this reading is a timing card. Well, if you're here in the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a timing card. It's like everything's blossoming. Everything wants to blossom. Everything wants to reach out to the sun and live and grow. It's up to you to decide, where do you water? What are you watering in your life? And are you watering what you want to water so that it can flourish? Because if you're just if you think that other people are going to, wow, I keep saying watering, and again, if you think other people are going to come and water other parts of your life without you having to do anything, that's not going to happen. Again, it's prioritizing what it is truly that you want in your life and making sure that you spread yourself accordingly to take care of those things in your life. And if you don't, someone is going to feel neglected, or you're going to realize, interesting, I constantly don't give of myself the way I should potentially in this relationship. And you're going to realize, well, if that's the case, like maybe I really don't want to be in this relationship. Or maybe I don't really want to do what it is that is being asked of me because I keep pushing against it, or I keep ignoring it, or putting it to the end of my list, the back of the line, and I'll get to it later. And when we do things like that, sometimes it's really because we don't want that. We're kind of lying to ourselves, or we think our feelings will change. Okay, this is personal. It's personal for you, but it's also personal between you and some other people. And I also think this is definitely in the 3D. This is not spiritual. It's on your path, but it's not a spiritual, esoteric, philosophical reading. This is real 3D pentacle worlds. You can hear the birds. Wow. Jax is enjoying it. Okay. 6 of Sticks. That's actually the 6 of Wands, which is amazing. This deck has an interesting way of showcasing the cards. Sometimes I have felt that I agree and don't agree with it, but I'm not the artist, and there's an intention behind what they have done. I understand what they're trying to say in this card. It's like, weathering all storms, you're going to be successful, right? And you're going to make it to the end. You are being led, and you're going to make it to the end. And celebrate the fact that you pushed through this trail, this hike. But it kind of looks miserable getting there. This is under Stag with Vitality. Wow. This is with high moral principles. His noble attendance encourages us to travel the high road when we must share it with unfair or unjust individuals. Share your energy with others, manifest abundance for all. And if this is a guide for this person, maybe you are guiding someone you're not particularly fond of, but you've taken it on. And with the right work and dedication and right watering of it, it will be a success. Or you realize that you are not putting in enough into that relationship. You can't just stand around not liking the person if you have to interact with the person. You have to figure out how to interact with the person so that your relationship can be successful. That's why I said if you're a supervisor or you're in charge of other people. And if this is personal, there could be a person in your family or a friend group that you're not so keen on, but you have to figure out how to incorporate them in order to keep the peace or to still remain part of that group, that friend group. Yeah, you're being asked to do something here. You're being asked. And that's funny how I said that, you know, poop or get off the, you know, pot. I think this is forcing you, Scorpio, to decide if this is going up in flames or not. It's your decision. That's what I'm getting. It's your decision to do this. And maybe that's the lesson. Maybe that's the lesson. Like, it's not going to just stay in the peripheral where you've put it very long anymore. Not for much longer. And you can't just ignore it and focus completely on what you've been doing. You need to deal with this. You need to deal with something that you've been putting off dealing with. Or it's going to make you deal with it very soon. In an unpleasant way. And then you're forced to deal with it and people's emotions and people's feelings and all of that. So this is coming soon. This is coming soon. And all of this has probably been rattling around in your brain for a while. I mean, you're a Scorpio. You're used to death and rebirth. That is your wheelhouse. You understand the nature of nature. You are part of source in a way that no one else is. But you also have an innate understanding that the end is never the end. But I can see how that can sort of make you rest on your laurels a bit about actual change and making change. It's like you wait and let it happen because you know it's going to be okay, or you'll figure it out, or you handle it so well that you'll just figure it out and move on. But sometimes that lackadaisical attitude, you know, pushes people away or makes other people feel like they're not important in your life because it's important to them. Or you don't want to lose everything. And when you don't want to lose something, you need to work on it. You can't just let it take its course, right? Even though you think it's its natural course, it may not have to be, because that's a lesson for you, Scorpio. Work and effort is not something to admonish. It's something to accept and to breathe life into a relationship. Big month. It's a big month for everybody. August has been a killer. Okay. 4 of Blades and 8 of Blades. 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords. You are fighting. I'll tell you why. With the Devil, you have the 4 of Swords. That 4 of Blades is you taking a breather. I think you're being asked to take a breather from your single-mindedness, from your grip on only what you want to do or how you do it, and everybody else should just do it the same way. Or I don't even think it's that. Again, I think it's like you're living your life, you have your priorities, and everybody else and everything comes second. It's like taking a break from that. If I remember correctly, I was telling you before where I was feeling like you were just work 24/7. Again, I don't know why it's work. And you were, everything else was just on its, had to wait for you to realize that there's a life outside of work. And I think it's asking you to take that break. Maybe you're going to finally realize, maybe that's the decision you're making. You realize, right? That's your epiphany. That's your breakthrough. You realize and decide you want to work for what you're almost going to lose if you don't. You're going to deal with what you don't want to deal with. start breaking down barriers between you and someone else, creating a better team, if it's at work, coworkers, creating better boundaries, putting in the effort into a relationship that you've let sort of stay in the background, waiting for your attention. Dealing with hard parts in a relationship that you've been avoiding dealing with because it's too much work and it's annoying, and you also know that it's a deal breaker potentially for someone. And why I said is you're fighting this. 11, you have the 8 of Blades, and that's 8 of Swords. Oh, it's like so much work needs to be done. You know, the 8 of Blades, the 8 of Swords, it's not only you just being trapped in your own mind and you can't move. It is truly also taking all of the competing thoughts and energies around you that are waiting to be dealt with, and you bringing them in, closing your eyes and focusing on them and trying to figure out a way through and dealing with them. Like, it's like taking stock of everything that's going on in your life. And I think that's what you're going to do. And that's what you've been avoiding doing. It's like you've only been focusing on that tree that fell down that path because now you couldn't cross that path. So you're like, okay, this is my priority. Your priority is making enough money, or this is my priority. This is what I'm going to focus on because I want to move down that path. But there were also so many other areas on that path that needed your attention, but you're like, that's not a priority right now. You're going to realize they're all a priority. To make this path the most accessible it can be, and to not only you, but to everybody else who walks this path, you need to clear it out, make it flat, put in the effort. And look how they're not alone. There's 3 people in this 8 of Swords. And that's where the Stag comes in. Even dealing with people that you don't want to deal with, right? Even dealing with people who you feel are unfair or unjust individuals. I would say forget about unfair and unjust. I think people that you don't like. That's all I'm getting. It's like people that you don't like. It's like bringing them all together and making what? A teamwork day. Like, you know, like those team building exercises, like trust falls, and forcing everybody to spend some time together to see each other as individuals with like personalities and home lives, and humanizing people in each other's eyes. That helps, because sometimes when you don't like a person, you see them through a single lens, and you don't realize that there's much more to them, right? Everybody has more facets than what you only see. And I think you have to stop fighting this, because this is on your path to do this. And you're the leader in this. You are. Scorpio, you are being asked to do this. You're being asked to gather these people up, or lead this bunch of people here. And I think this is what you've been avoiding. But honey, it's time. It's time to stop putting off being present, and however which way this is for you. And in a relationship or in a situation that you don't want to be in. And it's not even, it is for other people, because in the end it does benefit other people, but it's really for yourself, so that you can decide your limits. You can decide if this is a relationship for you or not. You can decide if this is what you want in your life. This is for you and your growth. You and your growth. So Scorpio, you can do this. But this is definitely asking Mars. I was going to say, this is asking for your divine masculine. This is you asserting and doing and making happen. This is not you allowing. Mars, the tower is ruled by Mars. This is Mars. And I know Mars is doing a lot of things right now in August, big things. I think you're being influenced by Mars, or you're being activated by Mars. I don't know how this, you may want to look that up in one of the astrology charts or videos. There's a million of them for the month of August. You are being pushed out of your comfort zone and you're being told, do. This is your divine masculine knocking at your door. Wow. That's funny. All right, Scorpio, I would love to hear from you guys. This is an interesting one. I feel it very clearly. I just can't pinpoint specifically what it is for each and every one of you. So I wish you luck. Get out there, do it. Yeah. As for help, go against hiding. Don't give in to retreating from this. Funny. Don't retreat. Tackle the situation at hand. Because you do have the Six of Wands here. It can be very successful. But I'm going to say I don't know if it's going to be successful in your relationship, or you're going to be successfully closing a cycle, ending a relationship that you necessarily don't want to be in, or just having growth. It's like all or one or all or none, something like that. But I do know in the end it's best for you. It's best for you. And that's all I want. So, Scorpio, good luck. I'd love to hear from you. And I can't wait to see what September has in store for you in Virgo season. I can't believe it's September already. Well, it will be September next time I talk to you. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye. Hi, Pisces. You're up. Okay, what are we looking at then for mid-month, August 2025? I know I left you with some really big life changes, movement, actually physically moving. I got that really big time from your August reading. Like as though you were going to be reborn. You were becoming a new person. You were starting a new chapter in your life. And you were going to be experiencing and understanding how this new you functioned in the world. And meeting people who meet you at this new level in life. Yeah, something like that. So let's take a look, Pisces. What does August have in store for you? What does Spirit need to tell us about your mid-month? Mid-month review, mid-month reading, please, for Pisces Spirit. All right, we got one. Bottom of the deck, we have Lion with leadership. I gotta get my glasses. Lion, well, we are Leo season right now, guys. Lion personifies the virtuous and noble qualities of servant leadership. They demonstrate the value of presence, purpose, and responsibility. Often found driving change, Lion encourages us to live our life mindfully, concerned with mutuality and leading for the health and well-being of others. Because leadership is balanced by servitude, Lion reminds us of our duty to self and others. When presented with the opportunity, choose to use your power for aid rather than domination. Interesting. Maybe this is part of your new role or your new assertion of who you are in the world, in this new community. I love servant leadership. All right, let's take a look at another oracle. For Pisces, please, for the month of August. Spirit, what do we need to know? All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card, balance. Yeah. It's balancing, I was going to say, what you take versus what you give, which is also servant leadership. It's like you want to start off on a good footing this month. Interesting. I'm going to read this to you too. Yeah. Balanced outcome, fair and just, karmic justice, legal matters, justice system, need for balance, satisfaction, seeking truth, making an honest and balanced evaluation, receiving an honest and balanced evaluation. This deck also has some, this is actually my deck, some of the path, which will be available soon. It does have some reversals on the bottom, but it's not reversed. Wow. I'll say, if this is the new job, a new city, moving into a new department, you know, if you're going to school, just changing your life completely. And I know we even discussed if this was downsizing, if you were a senior or looking at downsizing your home or even moving into like I don't know, retirement community. You know, you may find yourself having difficulty in balancing your place in this new environment. You may not find that everything is fair or balanced. Or you may look for, or you may make a priority and not rocking the boat. Maybe you don't want to rock the boat in this new place that you're in. You want to make sure that you're giving as much as you're getting. Again, with giving as much as you get. Giving as much as, maybe that's your concern. Like you don't want to be a burden. Or you don't want people to think that you are taking more than what you're giving. That's really interesting. Okay. Underneath that, we have number 87. I love this number. Love it. Follow the signs. Trust that your blessings are incoming. Universal order at play. Message to assess life balance of material goals and spiritual journey. Again, balance. Maybe it is you balancing your needs, your desires, your wants, your growth as a person with your new environment. Maybe those around you are not like you. Maybe those around you, you feel like you don't necessarily don't fit in just yet because you're new. Or you're trying to figure out how to balance who you truly are and your spiritual beliefs and the way you live your life, right? Your divinity in your new environment. How to not lose those parts of yourself in this new environment. Call upon mermaid spirit. Yeah, it's about living between two worlds. Maybe that's how you're going to feel for a while. I think this is going to be temporary. This is call upon or embody mermaid spirit. Transmutation, dualistic approach, regeneration, and discretion. When we're in a new environment, we tend to be a little shy at first, reserved, just sort of get the lay of the land without, telling everybody everything, all our business, who we are, what we believe in, what we don't believe in. That takes time. And people learn and earn who you are over time. but you may feel like a mermaid. In certain environments, you'll be a human. In certain environments, you'll be able to be your mermaid self. Eventually, you'll be able to integrate. But mermaids do it well. They live a dualistic life. And I think that you can too. You can successfully do this. I don't think you could do this forever, but I think that in the beginning, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed of having to be two people potentially, until you can get enough footing to be yourself fully and expose yourself fully, or set the boundaries and limitations with those around you. Or just until you find your pod, until you find your group, your soul tribe, your friends, your new coworkers, or people who you like, or people in the new building. It takes time to find your way through all the newness and find your people, find your niche, find your new home. Last one more. Ankh. It doesn't mean because you are, I love this. So energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only morphs from one form to another. Change is upon you. This is everlasting life. This is eternity. And what I was going to say is, just because you may be a mermaid for a bit, it doesn't mean that who you are is gone. Who you are doesn't exist anymore or is being broken. You're never going to not be who you are. And that change is normal and it's expected. And if you embody the mermaid for a little bit, you're going to be able to swim and walk and do it all until you find your resting place. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Winter. Maybe winter. If you're in the northern hemisphere, maybe it's winter. Winter is when you will start feeling at home, or feeling like you made the right decision, or feeling you can rest. You're not going to feel so on edge, right? You're not going to feel so much like a fish out of water anymore. Maybe you need those few months to feel finally, again, rest, dormant, replenishing, introspection, acceptance. Maybe you'll start feeling like you are being accepted in this new environment. And then in the southern hemisphere, maybe it's summer. Summer will be when you feel at home. You've created a new home for yourself. That's really nice. Okie dokie, let's do some tarot, Pisces. Let's see, what does Pisces need to know? That's 2. I'm taking that one. And that one. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Stones, new beginning. Absolutely. I felt that from the beginning. This is syncing up very, very well with the monthly. There's a huge bird that's flying in the window here. And it should. I did the monthly for you. So it's nice to see the continuation and also see that you are on the path that we were picking up on, right? Yeah. It's like you see how this built all of this. How that one stone built all of that. Stone by stone, brick by brick, will you build your new environment, your new life, your new home, your new friendships. Underneath that, we have the 6 of Vessels, which is the 6 of Cups. Oh, these are manatees, and she's in a glass bottom kayak. She gets to see them, and they get to see her. It's like you're tentative at first, right? There may be a yearning. Only there may be a yearning for the past, but that's not it. I think you're going to find your place that makes you feel good. It makes you feel like home. she's at home and feeling good, feeling safe and secure like she has in the past. What you ideally would want, that contentment, that fulfillment. She's found it with them, even though they're different species and she can't be one of them and they're not her. They coexist together. And I think that's what you're going to find, a way to coexist and feel the fulfillment and contentment in your new environment. Wow. It's really cool. And last one is a 7 of Vessels. Look at that, 7 of Cups. Yeah. I think you're going to be, filtering through several relationships and several options and several ways of socializing and putting yourself out there in this new environment. Or at least I hope so. I don't want you to go to this beach and just stop there at the entrance and feel like that's not for me. I'm not going to be welcome anywhere. I think you're going to find that you will be. But it's overwhelming and scary, and I'm not discounting that because I feel that right now. Even that's what came to me looking at this picture. All right, let's see what your cards have to say for you, Pisces. All righty. 55 with change. Absolutely. Change is upon you, Pisces. The month of August, there is a lot of change upon you. And I feel like it's movement. Movement, movement, movement. Sorry about that, guys. The card fell. Puma. Action. That's funny. And this is the card that fell. All right, let's read this for you. Oh, so beautiful. Puma comes from a long line of cats, notorious for their inclination towards sudden, aggressive action. At times, this may be necessary, but they remind us to be mindful of this propensity. They encourage us to take heed before action. Haste in and of itself can lead to dire consequences. Wow. Be patient. Think before you take action. In doing so, you will be more likely to avoid unsavory outcomes. Remain intensely focused on your purpose before you pounce. Be certain of the path you wish to take and where you want to land. This is great advice. Change leads to being uncomfortable. It does. Change makes us feel like at times that something wrong is happening. It's not supposed to be this way. And that's very disconcerting sometimes. And I think that we can react in a bad way when we let the fear of change and the uncomfortableness of change take over. And we may lash out. Or you may feel like you're on heightened awareness with Puma and action. You know, about how they're ready to pounce. You may potentially feel like people's intentions are wrong. Or people have ulterior motives, or you may judge other people too quickly out of a way to protect your emotions and your feelings and not wanting to be hurt or offended. New environments are scary. But remember, you don't want to do this alone, and you don't want to live alone, and you don't want to be alone, because that was a big thing in the month of August. We are looking for people to love and love you and support you while you support them. And there's something here, right? The balancing, the justice card. Justice is in your favor. But what is it? Making an honest and balanced evaluation. Receiving an honest and balanced evaluation. I think that's how these two match up. Yes. Don't go in with preconceived notions about those around you. Try not to judge so quickly. And hope not to be judged as quickly in return. New environments are difficult. I think that's going to be a growing opportunity for you. What else do we have here? Number 55, change. Significant changes ahead. Call for adaptability, spiritual enlightenment, and positive sign for upcoming transformation. Yeah. Change. But adaptability is key. Change requires us to be adaptable, and at times to even be open to actually being different, becoming different. And I'm not going to, it's really growth. It's growth. You're asked to be open and allow growth to happen. Personal growth. Growth in relationships. Growth in your environment. Being open to new things. Being open to new people. Adaptable. A puma is very adaptable. They can spring into action in a second. This puma card is actually quite significant in this reading. It means so many different things and is so relatable in all of those meanings to this reading. But there's a balance in this puma. There we go. There is a balance. It's like you're the puma, but you have to balance its nature. Balancing its nature. Not to be too vigilant where you're paranoid and potentially snap at someone. You need to be adaptable and ready for, or down for anything, ready for anything, of course, in a healthy way. It's asking you to be this wondrous, adaptable animal without letting any of its shadow aspects, so an extreme in either way, come forward. That's what I'm feeling. Wow. I'm going to leave it facing up so I can see the picture because that means a lot to me. Wunjo. Amazing. Joy, fulfillment, recognition, fellowship, and kinship. Success and achievement and good fortune, guys. Oh, sweethearts. This is amazing. You guys are going to do so well, and I knew it. That's how we ended up your reading for August. This change is wondrous. It's a huge step in your awakening, in your enlightenment. This change is going to be part of your ascension process. The gifts you're going to receive and the lessons you're going to learn from this change and being adaptable to it and accepting it and surrendering to it and working through it and allowing this new beginning to happen is going to be wondrous for you. It's going to strengthen bonds with people that you've never had before. You're going to have new relationships. You're going to find you're not doing this alone either. That's really cool. Really, really cool. The World card, yes. You're closing out a major cycle and starting a new one. There you go. This is also a celebration of reaching this fruition of this cycle. This graduation. How did I state it? How did I put it in that reading? You are literally closing up. You've graduated from a life cycle, a huge chapter or book or of a life journey, in your life journey. And you are now starting a new life journey path. Look at that with all the books. These are all the books in your library. And you are just adding another book to it. Wow. I'm going to read this for you. Ruled by Saturn, I achieve the regulator. Successful completion, graduation, karmic cycle reaching fruition, lesson integration, transcendence, external recognition and admiration, long distance travel, and it also can of course be, and of course it can also be online presence and international endeavors. You are now ready to be the Fool again. It is so beautiful how this has shown its way here in this reading, especially with what the reading was for the month of August. You are a fool again. You get to step out and learn something new and experience something new. Be very proud of yourself. I don't even know if you realize even what lesson or what karmic cycle you've broken. I think this reading and the reading I did for the month of August will resonate with people who are starting a new part of their life. Like a big one though. Yeah, a big one. Meeting head on a next big chapter in their lives as a new person. And what did I say? Retirement, moving across the country, downsizing, going to college, moving away from home for the first time, getting married, taking a job in a new city, never, not knowing anyone, never having been there before. Taking on an amazing job opportunity. Leaving a career for a second career. Like things like that where you're a new version of yourself. And you're being asked to take that leap into it. You accepting whatever it is that you accepted to move forward, that's what I'm talking about. No. The sun. Guys, you are moving towards the sun. The sun is here. It is life-giving. Know that you, on this new journey, on this new beginning, is blessed. It is sanctified for you. You are being guided. It is being illuminated for you. It's not the moon, it is the sun. It is saying, here are your next steps. It is life-giving. It is vitality. The world is rising to meet you, and you are rising to meet it. Wow. This is overcoming fear, overcoming your own insecurities, your own anxieties. Three of Stones. That's the Three of Pentacles with the changes. Yeah, I think that you, wherever this next step leads you, you are going to find that soul tribe. You're going to find people who you're going to feel at home with. You're going to work together. If this is career and that, it's finding, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel welcome. You're going to feel successful in whatever endeavor this is in your career. If this is new friends and family, you're going to find that you are all going to be working together to build this new masterpiece, this new vision that you have in your life. Everybody's going to be on the same page. You're going to find people that you gel with. Yeah. It's awesome. And they're all cleaning the forests. It's like also having something in common with them. You may find yourself finally meeting people who believe the same things you do, who feel the same way you do about things, who support your moral endeavors, or who want you to be happy and are willing to work with you to make your dreams come true, and vice versa, because you're going to feel that way about them. Remember, balance. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. The star with joy and fulfillment. This is wish fulfillment. Your wishes will be coming true. This is on your path. This is your dharmic path. This is your destiny unfolding in front of you. You are being called to this new chapter in your life. You are in flow, not going against the current. You are allowing to be guided, to be held, your hand being held down this path to prosperity, fulfillment, kinship. That's really, really, really beautiful. These cards are so beautiful. Last one is the King of Stones, King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to feel you're going to feel like the master of your domain, of your new domain. The King of Pentacles builds his world, his empire, his material world around him, not just for himself, but to feed and take care of everyone else. And that's what you've done. I think that's what you've done, and that's what you're going to do again. This is right under the world. That's why I said you've done this, but you've also are going to start doing this again, becoming the King of Pentacles again. You've achieved and satiated one entire cycle as the King of Pentacles, where you look at these shooting stars, the way he's looking out, how he's one with the earth and one with the world. You achieved this. You achieved a desire, a goal, a surrendering and acceptance. And you now that reached the world card. And then you accepted the challenge for a new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. And you're going to then start your journey again to become the King of Pentacles in this new version of yourself. On this new path. In this new state. State of being, state of actual location. In this new version of yourself, however this resonates, in your new version of self, in the new version of yourself, you are going to just start the cycle again and learn another lesson, experience another success, go through all the ups and downs the Fool does, and add knowledge and growth to your coffers and to the coffers of the universe, to source. And that's why we're here, to experience, to learn, to grow, and to be light, right? The more we do that, we become a bigger light in this world, and your light helps others. It's beautiful. This is just a continuation of your monthly. I love seeing that you are on the same trajectory and journey. I am so excited to see how well you do in September and Virgo season and on. This is beautiful, Pisces. You should be very proud of yourself, and proud of yourself for, you know what it comes down to? facing fears, because that's what I felt when I did your reading. It's like you had to make a huge decision and you're facing fears and accepting that you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone and take that first step. And you are doing that. You have done that and you're doing it. So it's amazing. So this is your reading. This is your mid-month check-in. I'd love to hear from you guys. Till the next one. Bye.